Hello everyone, happy new year. I want to start this video off by saying that some people say that time doesn't exist. However, you can't debate the effects that time has on all of us every single day. Your alarm has to go off at a specific period because you have to get to work at a designated time. The sun seems to change what time it rises and falls when daylight savings arrives. The point being that those who believe time is an illusion, they can still use the 365 or 366 day mark to instill new habits and bring about new beginnings. Whether it's your health, wealth, or your mental, I must say in my opinion, all of those things are wonderful things to focus on. But this video is going to act more like a caution label. It's for the people who like to enact change but do it way too drastically. This video is exactly what you clicked on. Signs that you're being way too frugal in 2026. Welcome to the video, boys. My name is Stack.
My name is Grounded.
And welcome back to another video. We're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. Before we get started, we have to break down what frugal actually means.
Frugal, sparing or economical with regard to money or food. For example, he led a remarkably frugal existence. Or another definition, simple and plain and costing little. For example, a frugal meal.
Now that we got that out of the way, there are plenty of videos on YouTube right now about how to be frugal, but there aren't many videos that explain what happens when you take it too far. Too much of anything is unhealthy. Only you know your current situation, so please listen to this video with nuance. And also, I'm definitely not saying that it's bad to save your money. Saving your money and not spending it on trivial things is like paying yourself in the future back. The first sign that you're being too frugal is that you're buying the cheapest option every time, choosing the lowest price instead of the best value. For example, when I worked in fast food, I would go to Walmart and I would get the cheapest pairs of non-slips that I could buy. Now, if I could go back in time, I would still buy those cheap shoes just because I know where I'm at now and I'm not working in fast food. Now, if I knew that I was going to be working in fast food for the next 1 to 2 years, then I would have bought something a lot more sturdy. Your shoes are directly tied to your quality of life, because if you're standing up all day and you absolutely hate it, then you're going to hate your job.
This does not just pertain to your shoes. Let's say you go to the store and you see the cheapest pillow and you see the most expensive pillow. One is $15 and it's terrible quality and it really isn't going to help your sleep all that much. But the other pillow is $25 and it's made from quality material and it will help you sleep. The dangerous part about this is that you could be that person that buys that $15 pillow 3 times out the year when you could have been that person that bought that $25 pillow and that lasted you 1 to 2 years and good sleep. So definitely something to think about.
Yup, and it's funny because you do it to save money, but then you end up losing money in the long run because you just have to keep replacing your old cheap items. Make that make sense. The second sign that you're being too frugal, and this is extremely important, but skipping your preventative health care.
These are things like avoiding doctor visits, dental cleanings, or therapy because of the cost. Now, I'm sure you've heard of somebody in your family or from your church congregation, oh gee willikers, I should have had this screening with my doctor done months ago. Instead of paying $200 to prevent it from happening in the first place, I now have to pay $2,000 to the hospital to help me out. Come on now, gang, you don't want to do that.
And we understand that having insurance nowadays is a lot more expensive, but getting your preventative care done before something actually happens is going to save you a lot more money in the long run.
The next way that you can end up being too frugal in 2026 is refusing to replace your broken or your unsafe items. You know, like your damaged appliances, your worn tires, broken chairs, or unsafe tools because they still kind of work. Just because they still kind of work doesn't mean that they're not unsafe.
It's funny because I just replaced the can opener yesterday. So the homies were coming over and I was making elotes. The can opener that I had was rusted out, so it was still really unsafe for me to use that can opener. I got open one can and then I was like, you know what, let me just go ahead and get me a new one. You see, when you have items like that, and let's just say you have children around, that stuff could be really unsafe for them. Their prefrontal cortex doesn't develop until they're like 25, so the best you could do is try to do your best to make sure things stay safe around the house. And simply, if it's needed, replace it. The next way that you could be too frugal in 2026 is by extreme couponing. There are a lot of layers to this, so I'm gonna break down this onion layer by layer. Number one is that couponing by itself is not a bad thing. I'll be the first to say, if a store gives you a coupon and you don't use it, you're just wasting your own money, dog. Like, what else do you want me to tell you?
But see, if you're driving across town stacking deals or spending hours to save $5 to $10, you're gonna end up wasting a lot of time. And time is currency, and many frugal people forget to price that in. Coupon when it makes sense. Do not drive 20 minutes across town to use a coupon that only works at that store. If anything, save that coupon, and then whenever you're around that area of town, then go get that item with the coupon.
Now let's take down this next layer of the onion. I'm gonna say we know, but I'm not sure you know. The stores give us coupons in order to have us come back. And also, when you get a coupon, psychology is telling you that you got a deal. But let's take off the rose-colored lens for a second. When you take a look at the coupon, you realize that this is for items that you don't even usually get. And that's the trap. Coupons make you feel like you're saving money, but instead you're spending money on items that you weren't even gonna buy anyway.
The next way you can be too frugal in 2026 is by never paying for convenience. That's you refusing to spend money on things that save time, like meal prep help, reliable transportation, quality tools. Your commute to work is 20 minutes walking every single day because you don't have a car or a moped to take you to work. You steady spend money on Ubers or you spend it on public transportation. While you're doing that, your wallet is slowly getting milked when you could spend a one-time fee of $2,000 to $1,500 just to get a moped. And now your 20-minute commute to work has now changed to 10 minutes and you're not sweating when you walk in the door. But I don't want to spend my money. I saved it for so long. You're not doing yourself any favors by hogging peace from yourself.
Now let's just imagine that you're married, you have a kid, you and your wife both have jobs, but you still go to work, she stays at home and takes care of the kid because it's a newborn. Now all of a sudden, because you have a kid and a stay-at-home wife, you're not making as much money as y'all were making before y'all had a kid together. It all depends on how you decide to raise your kid, because I could definitely see the appeal of having a stay-at-home wife. But you're not making that much money. You're making about $30K a year by yourself. Brain blast moment. What if you decided to use some of your income to get a babysitter? That way your wife can go to work and you can go to work and everybody's happy. Your wife may not even be as stressed as she was before. That's because you never let yourself pay for convenience. The next way you could be too frugal in 2026 is by avoiding skill investment. What does that mean? That means not paying for courses, certifications, tools, or software that could increase your earning power. So you may be like, I'm saving all this money, I'm not gonna go to school for the next 2 years. The same person could be sitting in front of you. One did go to school and one didn't go to school. The one that didn't end up going to school actually ended up losing his job after a year. He actually ended up finding something, but school is the furthest thing from his mind right now. Now, same person, and he did go to school. He still ended up losing his job after a year, but he was already halfway done with his 2-year program. He found a new job, and eventually he found another new job through his university after they helped him find a job in his field of study, and he earns even more.
He could have still been sitting on his hands and not doing a thing. Especially if you're comfortable with the position that you're in right now, do not waste your time on not improving yourself, because your learning and your skills are your #1 asset. The next way you could be too frugal in 2026 is by holding on to subscriptions just in case. I'll say it now, I'm guilty. I have Hulu still, and I've been meaning to cancel it forever. I only watch American Dad and Abbott Elementary on there. Great shows. The reason I haven't canceled it yet is because I have friends and family on there. And that could also possibly be your reason as well. You can always just buy what you're going to use instead of keeping services just because.
Or if you have those cheap plans, you could feel bad by canceling it because it just feels wasteful. That's a moment where you just have to look in the mirror and be honest with yourself. You know in your heart that you don't like the shows that they have on the streaming service. They haven't had a good series on there that you've liked since 2020. So why are you still paying for it? Great question. It's because the next way that you could be too frugal in 2026 is by living in constant scarcity mode. When you're never spending money and you're always acting like money is about to disappear even when it isn't, It just creates guilt and fear around spending anything. I definitely know some of you can relate, but if you've ever been in a place where you can't spend any money, like you actually can't spend anything, that money you spending on snacks actually count for something. Now you're actually getting back your quarter from the Aldi's basket.
Now imagine you're in that situation, but you actually have money to spend. At this point, you look like SpongeBob and Patrick drowning underwater. You're your own worst enemy. The next way you could be too frugal in 2026 is by refusing to enjoy any money at all. This could be things like never traveling, never celebrating, never treating yourself even responsibly. And newsflash, you don't have to break the bank to travel at all. If you have a car, or even if you don't have a car and you just want to go to a place that you haven't been that's near you, like a restaurant a city over. Or you may want to go get a hotel or something because you haven't stayed at a hotel that's in your same city. One of the easiest ways to still enjoy yourself and save money.
And gang, you're saving your money for what? You're gonna die one day with that money in your account and you can't take it with you.
Man, I'm dead.
You try and convince me that you saved all that money up and the hardship that you had to endure was worth it. The last way you can end up being too cheap in 2026 is by being cheap with relationships, not tipping, avoiding shared expenses, or making every interaction transactional. It's sad to say, but you're the type of person that most people don't want to be around. And no, we're not just talking about your boyfriend or your girlfriend. This is about your friendships too. I'm about to go in real quick. You're telling me that you're not trying to buy your girl something nice? Every time you go on a date and y'all are eating dinner, you make her pay? Be hitting that broke boyfriend hug at the cash register like, is you for real?
Nah, why is bro stealing roaches out the ashtray? And we said we was gonna give you back your $2 for your chips once we get out the gas station.
If you've been on the other end of any of those sentences, then you should know people do not want to be around you.
You're saving money, but you're also losing respect and connection. It's just a bad trade.
On some Shay Gilgis. Anyways, that is going to be the video for today. I hope you guys took something from it. And once again, happy holidays and happy new year to everybody.
And please let us know if there's anything that we missed. Please like, subscribe, and hype the video if you got something from it.
My name is Stack.
My name is Grounded.
Let's build.